Let's be honest, we can't do a throwback Thursday in EMEA without talking about Gambit. So I'm going to give you guys what you want. Shados, welcome.
Hello.
Thank you very much for joining me. I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's a little bit of an anniversary for you and the Gambit boys. So about 5 years ago this week, you guys won a tournament. Do you want to guess what tournament that was?
Masters Berlin?
Not quite.
Oh, 5 years.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was maybe regional one, like.
Yes, the regional. So back in the days when Masters was in CIS, we had CIS
Yes,
Turkey, EMEA Masters. Do you feel like that was maybe the tournament that kind of made everybody take Gambit seriously? That was the first time that everybody learned about you guys?
I mean, I think everyone was, how to say, like putting us above. It doesn't matter. Like we was playing good on practice, we was stomping on practice. That's the thing that everyone realized that we could be good also on official because we didn't show our best on official. So that's why I think from regional tournaments everything started.
Yeah, it kind of started your story. I feel like. I want to show you some footage from that final. Do you remember anything from that grand final?
It was 3-0 against Sayed, so it was like fourth team, I think.
Yeah, it was. I love how you say it was against Sagetsu. Does this bring back any memories?
Yeah, it is. I remember the game.
Yeah, and also your agents look a little bit different, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it was meta kinda.
Yeah.
Right now, like, I was playing a lot of Sage in this meta, but right now it's not Sage meta, so it's obvious that I'm not playing it.
You were also...
And also do this.
You were also playing a bit of Raze. Do you miss that? Do you miss the Raze?
No.
You don't miss the Raze?
Not this much.
Why were you on the Raze? Do you remember what was the reason?
Because, I mean, obviously, it was meta when it was double duelist. So therefore, prefer to play Jet above Raze, and I played on Raze, you know. And obviously that my Jet is bad because I never played Jet, you know. Maybe I have like 2 games during like 5 years on Jet, so.
Do you feel like being a part of that Gambit roster has kind of, you know, stayed with you even when you're on different teams? Do people ask you about Gambit?
I mean, obvious, because it's gonna be until everyone from Gambit will reach level more. I mean, Chronicle kinda did it, but everyone else is kinda like didn't reach yet, you know. So when we're gonna reach it, I think. But still, it's gonna be always like this because it was kinda beginning of VALORANT and it was kinda strong team and everyone was like following it. So
everyone's favorite team.
Yeah.
I don't think you had any haters. Do you ever remember anyone
haters
not liking you? I feel like everyone loved Gambit, right?
I mean, yeah, we was kind of kids, so we was good kids.
You were great
good kids.
You were great. What about some of the newer players on your roster? When they come over to you, do they ever ask you about Gambit? Do they still recognize you from?
Yeah, I mean,
days?
like the guy who came us from America, Xavier Flyer, he kind of watched all games and he know. Like, I think everyone knew Gambit, so obviously that. I mean, like, but it don't live in the past, we live in the future, you know?
I'm glad you said that because that was my next question. So how do you envision, because that was 5 years ago, you know? How do you envision the next 5 years of your career and in VALORANT? What would you like to see?
I mean, let's see, only God's knew.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that, Shados, I like that. Thank you so much for joining me and good luck today.
Thank you so much.
We don't live in the past, and today Shados is on KOI, and the KOI fans are so excited to be here and for this match. I'm your host Yingsun, and I'm back here with Kakuka and Billy. I mean, this is an important game. It is a lot of rivalry.
I'm missing out. I'm
we send you in
tempted to just stand up and go join them because they have all the vibes.
Yeah, we'll send you in there. We'll send you in there. But this is the thing, the KOI, they might not have had the results they wanted at kickoff, Billy. It is a good roster. They have a lot of support, and you can see why the fans are excited to see them.
I love to see the fans excited, but yeah, I think they really need to turn things around from how kickoff went, of course. I mean, the fact that it was Gentlemates to eliminate them, I don't think was particularly great for the roster, and I had such high expectations for them, especially when you look at the coaching staff coming in, right? They came in from being champs on Vitality last year. When I look at Gorilla, when I look at Leica as well. So yeah, I was really excited and had high expectations for where this roster could go. So I'm hoping they can live up to those coming into stage 1.
Yeah, but you have to be realistic. When you think about KOI, we think about those big names, the expectations that the fans have because they have a massive following. The results have not been there yet. What I did like about them is that we saw some innovation. We didn't see a team that was, you know, defeated from the beginning. Good thing things can only go up from here, right?
And they've had time. They've had time. They've been able to maybe gel a little bit more as a newer roster. They've had time to look at what other people are doing. So have FUT, in fairness. They've also had that time to build something.
Yeah.
And you got to expect something even better from FUT, right? They have to break that curse here. They got to win something. This is an amazing team.
Absolutely, and especially with the turnaround that BBL has had, now going more international, this is now the Turkish roster. Bringing in Zeus as well, I think that they have to, as you say, prove that they have what it takes. It is time to finally break that third, fourth kind of place in EMEA. This is the time that they have to prove that sticking together and working on things. We know that these are grinders. We're speaking about 5 to 6 practice a day in the server with brilliant individual players.
At least they're consistent, right? At least they're consistent in that sense. But yeah,
not many teams can say that.
Exactly, and I was really happy to see Zeus come into this. I think he had a great debut.
Okay, Yetajay. Oh my goodness, who's that aimed at?
But I think as well, when we think back to kickoff and the fashion that they went out, they went up against a Team Liquid that were absolutely on form. I don't think anyone expected them to go on that run, so I don't think that they can be too disheartened by that.
I'm going to say the opposite. I think they should be. I think they are the team that they had no business losing to Team Liquid at kickoff. They really didn't.
It was an upset.
They upgrade their roster. They're the ones that didn't change anything, really. They stick together. They're so good. And they had all the right pieces because they had the comfort picks, too, for their roles.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that there's some context missing in that. They did win against Liquid the first time around.
Yeah.
It was the second one where where Liquid were bringing in new compositions and new changes. So it was a very different opponent from the first time. So the first part of the homework was like super good. Somehow that exam didn't go through. You had to repeat it. All the questions were different and you were like, oh, did I even study for this subject?
I mean, I want them to study a little bit harder this time around. And if they have been doing their studying, Billy, then they would know some of the tendencies when it comes to the comps that KOI were running.
Yeah, we know KOI seem to enjoy a double sentinel composition, which I'm not too against, but I think as well we have to consider the kind of meta that we're in at the moment. I kind of hinted at that before. They're playing a lot of Killjoy, and of course we have a lot of teams bringing in the Taeho. So honestly, I would love to see perhaps a Deadlock with the changes that Deadlock has had, or even a Sage. I don't know if I completely agree with the Killjoy going into this stage.
But I think that it is good to see that they had an actual perspective onto things. We did not see them actually in no composition going back into the old stuff. They were bringing or trying to bring an identity with this double sentinel. And I agree with you, especially with what we just saw on Ascent and how the Deadlock is doing, especially having players like Solkos and actually just having the flexibility that we've seen all around, not only this, but in the names that they had. This should be probably, as I'm saying, something that identifies them.
I like the legacy he left behind on Apex as well. He's like, you can still do the stuff I was doing. But he is looking very, very comfortable. Despite the result, despite maybe underachieving a little bit for KOI, Solkas Kukuga has been a shining star on this roster.
Yeah, absolutely. With him picking up on the Vice and just being throughout the years, Solkas has been one of the most flexible players that we've had. We've had him on Smokes as an initiator. Terra really good also as a Sentinel. But actually, we're going to take a look at who is going to be on the other side. Double Sentinel? Well, FUT apparently only needs one because Yetajay had an amazing performance during kickoff. Yes, they didn't manage to get to that main stage, but he can be extremely happy with what he was able to put out there.
Yeah, I think that we look at some of the names in FUT and we get a little bit lost sometimes because Zeus was having such a great performance, but I think Yetajay, we can always count on him to be that site anchor, and he's always able to have those kind of pop-off moments. So
and the
I think,
vibes.
yeah, and the vibes as well, of course. So it'll be interesting to see how he performs in comparison to someone like Solkas.
He's literally one of my favorite people in the world. He's always watching Game Changers.
Yes.
He's always
Every
in the
time.
chat.
Yeah.
He's so supportive. A very, very nice guy behind the scenes. We love the energy he brings, the screams. And of course, as you said, it helps that he's a Swiftie as well. You know, he's one of us. So
Yes.
we'll support Yetajay till the end of the earth, which is what makes his head-to-head so difficult because he is going up against Solkas, and we feel the exact same way about Dom. You know, and we're going to see some of his highlights here from kickoff.
Yeah, both of the expectations, I think, for both of these players have to be through the roof. And especially, again, with what we've seen today and what we've seen throughout the 3 months that we've had of the year, these Sentinels are sometimes being the difference. Yes, we speak a lot about the Taeho and the Breach, but actually some differences like the Deadlock, the Vice, and whatnot can be game determinant, and especially in maps like, for example, this Pearl that we're seeing right here.
Yeah, definitely. I think Soulcast has been absolutely amazing. And I want to keep bringing like this deadlock back into the conversation when I think of Soulcast, because he was just really, really great on Ascent. When he was playing for Apex, we've seen him start picking up that deadlock towards the later stages of the year. So yeah, I think it's great. And I think as well that because he has that sort of initiator experience as well, we're seeing him act reactively with the Vise Flash, with deadlock utility as well. So I think there's a lot of potential there for him.
This is the other thing, though. We were kind of going off about FUT last year. Why is Krax not playing the KO?
Yeah.
It felt so weird that they didn't put him on the KO. They put him back on the KO, and it was a bit of a miss this time around. Is this something that you want to see them innovate, or is it just like, you know, he's allowed to have a bad day at the office?
It was maybe too many bad days in the office. Like, I understand what we were coming from last year, but maybe missing out on that time was crucial for him, because even though they bring ideas like playing it on the Fracture, they were the only team in our region that ran it there. And on the Bind, we also saw a couple of more teams doing that as well. But actually, maybe that being a mainstay is going to work against them at some point, because first time that you run it on the Fracture is going to be a surprise. But after you've done your 7th knife onto Dish, people are going to start reading onto that, and then you're put in between two very different roads. Are you going to stick to this and keep innovating it every single week so you can stay on top of it, or are you just going to swap around? Because remember, last year FUT was a team, what was it, 2023? I mean, we've been here forever. FUT was the team that every single time that they lost a map, they were like, oh, this comp doesn't work.
It was last year.
Yeah, we scrap it. We go into the next one.
Yeah.
I think I quite like the KO. I think that the meta that we're in and how explosive people can be, that they can do a really good job of shutting this down. And as well, we have to consider the map pool that we're in now, right? We have Ascent coming back, we have Icebox coming back, and KO is played so commonly across both of these maps. So I don't think that this is something that they'll steer away from. I think that this is something that FUT will potentially, they'll double down on.
I mean, in a world where everyone and their mums is running Yoru Breach, Teho, for me, it just makes so much sense. Fallen Breach, Cracks Teho, you know, we be on our merry ways and see what we can do with that. Is that too simple? Is a team like FUT the team that you expect to just do that, or maybe?
I think so, because I don't think that they need agents such as Teho for that explosivity. I think that they've got such good raw mechanics that they can just go in and take those aim drills. I don't think that this is a team that rely on utility that heavily.
Yeah, and I'm looking also at the explosivity that we see from the. Was he playing? I was thinking of a Neon as well, but I think that he's picked up very good on this team. We were speaking at the beginning of the year about he doesn't really play the operator, but we also saw him getting out of that comfort zone, because that is also something that can play against you. If the other team that you have in front of you knows that the operator is not going to be in play, they will feel more free about taking some duels and taking some spaces in the map. But we also see him individually, with all the tasks that he has to fulfill already, also adding that onto his list. I want to see how he's doing right now.
How buffed or nerfed do you think our teams are going to be with the map pool changes? Because it looks like a lot of the teams are already benefiting or suffering from it.
I think that for example, for this side of KOI, for this two specifically, it's a massive win. They didn't do well on Bind, they didn't do well on Abyss. The coaching staff like the Icebox. We've seen the Ascent that can be beautifully played with that deadlock, and I think that is where they would go.
I think, for KOI, they have two really great minds that I'm excited to see what they can cook up together. I think for FUT as well, we have to look at the kind of win rate that they've had on Icebox and Ascent in the past. You know, these are two really strong maps for this team, and they've only had one player change, so I expect that will be the same going into this stage.
Just the thought of seeing Shados on Icebox, I don't know about you guys, you know, it's Throwback Thursday.
Yes.
It's Throwback Thursday.
Yes.
That just brings nice memories, you know, fuzzy, warm memories of that Reyna, 400 ACS, you know, 12-1, 13-1 even, 13-1 map picks. I feel like this is a nice map pool for KOI. They should be happy about this.
And actually something that FUT also has to take into accountability, especially when we think about the picks and bans. Both of the teams were very flexible into what they were doing and just peeking onto their opponent. Where are they going to now find their strengths? And especially knowing that FUT should be the favorite to win this. What maps are you going to go for in here? Is this something that you have prepared? Are you going to be as surprising as Heretic was and go from something that you used to permaban into picking something because you might find some surprises?
Yeah, and how big is the disparity? Are they the clear favorites?
Honestly, I think when you look at KOI's kickoff performance, you would perhaps say, yeah, FUT are the clear favourites here. But I think that we've not seen the full potential of KOI just yet. I think that they have so much more to bring, and I really want to see the potential of this roster reach the heights that we know that they can get to.
Well, we are ready in the studio, and the fans in the arena are very eager to see these two teams. It's time to welcome back FUT and KOI. Both of these teams have had a lot of time to cook in this current meta. I can't wait to see what they bring to the new maps, how they're going to maneuver around some of the things we have already seen from the other teams. And this is the map where we were discussing. Where could we go here?
I think it makes sense that KOI wants to ban that Haven. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. I think that FUT just went and stayed on that line of we're just going to ban the what we consider to be their strongest map.
Yeah.
And probably just going back on the drawing board and thinking if they're going to keep that K or not. Pearl being the first one, it's a very safe option for FUT.
Yeah, I mean, what is with our Turkish teams and choosing Pearl at the moment? I mean, there's something clearly that we're not reading into. So yeah, I think Pearl is an interesting one from them. I mean, I know that they beat Team Liquid on it 13-7 during kickoff, so maybe they still feel super strongly about that and there will be no changes. But yeah, interesting map feel.
Yeah, what era are we living in that FUT is banning Ascent and KOI are banning Icebox as well? What's going on?
I think that especially, probably because if we get to that decider, right, if it goes that far, they do not want to see any surprises. You want to play in a ground that you definitely know. And Split should be that one for both of the teams. Yeah, we haven't seen it from KOI, but I think that it's pretty even.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. And I mean, Split as well, it's even because we've not seen KOI play it, but then it's also even because FUT had a devastating loss on it. So I would be excited if we get to that point.
Yeah, I would be excited as well. But this is also where, from KOI specifically on Pearl, we talked about how well Soulcast was playing on that Vice. You know, the result didn't go their way, but he had a lot of great ideas. So I wonder if we're going to see a lot of that today.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not really sure about that double
Killjoy?
with the Killjoy.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see how they can make it work, but I would like them to have gone to the drawing board and come up with a surprise. Because if you think about this map, Vito, and this expecting FUT to ban your strongest map, or the very literal idea that they have of what it could be, should be pretty predictable for them.
I do like the way Flyer plays Killjoy, though. He plays it like a duelist, and it's
just
so entertaining. We're going to get a Shadows Chamber.
That is a first time in
Chamber.
I cannot. I mean, I wanted to expect it to change, maybe in the Sentinel, but okay, we're going to include it, the fact that they're still running that double Sentinel, but Fly is going to be moving onto that Soba, Filu on the Euro, Gavino, moving away from the Omen, I believe, into the Astra. But again, I'm mostly excited to see that Shadows debut on Chamber, because I cannot believe 5 years of Valorant, he didn't pick the agent once.
Yeah, it's super exciting, and I have to look over at FUT, obviously not making any changes whatsoever. They're pretty comfortable with the composition that they ran last time, so it'll be interesting to see if the coaches have got any ante on that. I presume that they will, but yeah, movie star KOI, I mean, you're making a statement coming out with this kind of composition.
Just yoink stuff from BBL. Yeah, why not?
See, it seems to be the T, but especially with them having the chance, like if this map gets picked onto you, you want to start on the defense, you want to have control over B long. I think that for Shadows, this is going to be a make or break. I want to see also this change with having Flyer move away from the Sentinel into the Initiator, what that is going to mean, and how FUT are going to deal, especially with that B control that I was mentioning.
Yeah, and the Zeus versus Filu head-to-head is very, very interesting. We've seen just how oppressive Zeus can be on that Yoru as well. So I wonder how KOI are going to be able to deal with this.
Yeah, especially with the momentum that I feel some of these players need, because you know, especially for Filu, that is something that they're going to be pretty evened out when we think about the two duelists.
Yeah, I think looking at the two duelists, we know that Zeus had an incredible debut, and you're right in saying that. You know, how is Filu actually going to be able to cope on this Yoru? It's something that we've seen across a few maps, but yeah, not entirely sure how I feel about it right now.
And we really want to see the players that we mentioned come alive a little bit on the side of FUT. You know, after captain, once upon a time, the rookie that came into our region made his mark, but it was a little bit underwhelming at kickoff, but he's one of those players we look towards when FUT are in a bad situation. So I want him to come alive and play with a little bit more confidence on stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that for me, he is absolutely necessary in those clutch moments. Later in the round, he is when he comes alive the most.
Yeah, speaking of clutch moments, I'm going to throw, that was a terrible segue, but I'm going to throw this over to people who are better than me at yapping. It's Pansy and Hypok.
I think you could run with that.
I was going to say, we're kind of flip-flopping backwards, like a style compliment almost. And
Kind of.
We're just here to yap, I guess.
Yappers, professional yappers in the building. However, I do need to find out if KOI can truly give a reason for these fans to keep singing, Michael, because they're rowdy.
I thought you guys somewhere else. I do need to find out what's going on. But
I'm just confused.
Look, for me, it's actually a big positive to see such a drastic change.
And it is a change.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's like these are crazy agents to be pulling out, but again, the role swap for me is huge. For Shados to be the one to pick up the chamber here,
That's totally different.
it is, yeah, because stylistically, it doesn't really sit, I mean, historically from what we've seen from Chamber, but yeah, I'm here for it. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, look, I'm down. I'm absolutely down to kind of figure it out as we go along. And it looks like they're starting a brawl, isn't it? KOI taking the fight to them and winning out most, but FUT fighting back. It's down to a 2v2. Rubino, nice! Oh, it's lovely! There it is, keeping the fans on their feet.
Off to a flying start here. I was going to say, Gravino fairly committed there after the initial barrage. Able to clutch it out. 4 on the round for him. Star KOI looking for an early confidence boost, and they absolutely find it in the pistol round. Much really for FUT in terms of recovery factor coming into play there, Lauren.
Okay. Can they keep a clean slate here, though? But only on the classics, but hey, remember yesterday's games, we've seen some very messy anti-ecos, so would like to see this kept very clean.
To remind me.
I do get a bit worried when they take a fight in this kind of close choke point, and Zeus does very well to take away Shados.
Anything more behind that. Look as if FUT want to progress through. Cracks will fall. Fire able to even the score, so to say. But blood drawn elsewhere on FUT. Mr. Fallen and Zeus tagged up a little bit.
Yeah, kind of dismantling the pack they're playing under, maybe looking for that re-aggress.
And now no pressure point, really, because Star KOI have comfortably disengaged, but that's pretty big.
That's massive.
43 HP, sure, but a chance to take an engagement at least.
Nabbing the Bulldog, you can see the fear on KOI to not want to overextend to try and police that and bring it back in. Again, you can see how they're set up. Nice angle for Filu here, though.
Yeah,
it's
farming
free, right?
position. Right?
Right? So enough, I'm looking who can force him off. Maybe a flash coming in from Zeus, but I don't think he's got any left here. And it's not, you're not going to see any util put, I don't know. Let's see, Filu, yeah, lovely. He's got it, that's fine. Doesn't need to stick around too long. Should be able to depend on the others now to kind of take the place. Nice from Rubino, outdone, but now out of captain last hit. Any more deaths gets a problem. Oh dear, we might have a problem. 10 seconds! Christ!
10 HP on Soulcats.
Little close, little close.
But a 2-0 nonetheless. Rifles maintained, 3 fall, yes, but can potentially build around that here. Maybe even just scrape together a lighter purchase next to it. Yeah, it's difficult. Soulcast being the only one left over on that side of the map. Can't really police that Bulldog, but well handled in the end. Bodies in the right place. The movie star Koi. Well, you see him actually getting a little active once again here to try and make something work. See around like this, Shados actually the one with the Bulldog. Expect him on this lesser purchase just to ride through on the Headhunter.
Like that little push up into middle. Kind of removes some of those question marks if they're kind of just, you know, pumping fakes, but you get out of there. So it doesn't stay too long, maybe feeling enough pressure towards that A site. They want to reinforce the two that are already there, fly up. One of them. Patient beginning, no massive hurry, but Util starting to be invested. Maybe just trying to pull that fake, but those late hits back to B, how are you going to deal with the wall? You know, these sort of questions.
Yeah.
You look at this side of the map, Mike, you've still got Chambers Trip sitting towards, you know, the double doors. You've still got the wall there towards B long.
I think we'll allow FUT maybe 1 or 2 rounds to figure it out.
Yeah. Figure it out. You know, it could be an art at this point. It could be anywhere. We don't really know the full spread of the util.
Anticipating a lesser purchase as well. You don't want to walk into these choke points necessarily to clear the util, but it's early on here.
About 30 seconds. That's not bad. I mean, you got Shados there now as well, though, for Koi.
I mean, I'm looking at the minimap and sent an extra body also. That window of opportunity seemingly lapsed, but that's a captain. We'll find Shados.
Yeah, so far, holding strong numbers here. Looking for anyone to be a bit more of a frustration. No, FUT looking solid. I was a bit worried about the timing, but they've had plenty of time to spare. 15 seconds, using the util coming out from Mr. Fallen really nicely to clear out that backside.
Without concealment.
Filu, Vino going to find consolation here. FUT seemingly a vice-like grip here on the site. Zeus, good for a third now.
And Zeus has been a treat to watch.
Yeah.
You know, one of the kind of hot prospects through that lead into kickoff. People unsure how he'd fare, but he was, you know, that name was really said around. But seeing him now, maybe a little bit more time with this roster too, seeing how he looks within this team. Can't wait to see his peak. But Grabino, I mean, we know how this ends for him. Going to be opting for the spike.
Just on that as well, especially across the season, these are two teams that we probably want to get sort of a litmus test for what the year looks like.
Yes.
Not even really looking at roles, but performance-wise. To put it bluntly, I think that's to address the elephant in the room, right? But I don't think that's unfair.
No, and again, when I look at someone like FUT, they were pretty nasty in that lower bracket. They were pretty. I'm pretty sure they sent Fnatic home. They took them away from that run towards Bangkok. They eventually lost in the end towards Team Liquid, and that's fair. You know, Liquid were one of the people who booked that slot into that first event. So, in my mind, they are a dangerous little team, to say the very least. Now, Koi, though...
synonymous, really, when you talk about FUT.
Always has been.
Yeah,
always has been. A little bit of a dark horse, sometimes underestimated. But look at this util! Look at this combination work from Mr. Fallen, the assists. Perfect, the C's on top. Oh, my word, what an absolute backhand to Koi.
Losing 2 that early on. They've still got Solcas in a position over on B side, but this is where the problems can develop very, very quickly, because still more than a minute left on the clock.
I'll handle this.
Replay team, please give us a POV of that at the very start, pretty please, I beg of you. But Zeus right now, trying to take in the lay of the land. Can at least spot out where Solcas is currently residing, but the site's theirs. There is still util to be dealt with, but it's minimal on the way.
Serious. Plant will come through.
Spike
Early
planted.
challenge just yet. Yetija in a position now to tuck in. Got to try and dig him out early. He will be problematic the longer this goes on.
Oh, you're right. It's just that kind of compounding factor, isn't it? Thielu, Solcas, Shados, what do they have to set this in motion? Couple flashes, that's really it. I don't think they're fancying
better of it, yeah.
Yeah, they're off ski. Want to keep these for the next. And this was won and lost to that initial exchange over towards A main, right? That establishing of the dominance off the back of it. I mean, love or hate Teo, you got to respect that util. It was so strong with the C's there. Such a big punish. You can already see it pinged out on the map. You can see everything they're considering, what, you know, works so well for them. Beautifully done. That's their homework really paying off.
Yeah, I mean, this sort of composition is literally tailor-made
Well, look at this.
for these sort of setups. Punish early aggression.
Oh,
There's just nothing to do. Nothing to do here.
it's fortunate that Filu didn't fall for it as well.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was...
It's right on the edge of it, and it's only because of the TP to get out, to be honest with you. If anybody closes the gap, that's a third off rip.
Gosh, and that's something that makes that aggression harder and harder to want to ever go for, right? Like, maybe they show it once, you're probably not going to go back on it every time, but it's there.
You definitely can't justify going forwards, that's for sure.
Lovely. God, I love our replay team. Oh.
Wow.
So for Koi, kind of held on that starting block here. That save, fair shout. As said, a little bit rough at the beginning. Now got to go back in. Shados is identified by those double doors. Probably don't know it's him just yet, but Soulcast there too. Zeus going to be noted, but it's an early 1-3-1.
See, not a full purchase, but still well-rounded. Movie star Koi. Only the divide and play for them. Divide on the other side as well.
I do quite like this still.
Right here.
Yeah, it's just, again, previous round aside, taking this space away, at least not pushing too far here, because we can obviously see Yetijay coming forwards now to clear it.
It's all about that timing, isn't it? They're going to be stalled out towards that arc flex in, depending on the Teo ult to force them away. Flyer, he's in a war zone. Someone help him! He's on active duty trying to play towards the site. It's God, the util in this game is rotten sometimes. But he had to take the emergency get out of jail free for Filu. Had to get back. Can't really operate from that same position. Now trying to fight it back in from the front of the side. It's Zeus! Oh, he's absolutely magic! Beautiful from him, and Soulcast's options are down to 0. Held on to here, 15 HP. He's got to bow out.
And nothing else to say here. Zeus looking so sharp. And you're right, Flyers, he's caught on the retreat. He's not even caught in a position that's, you know, on site. He's desperately trying to maintain the head count for the retake. But again, you get a couple of those rounds and you know exactly where FUT are going to invest this utility. Fortunately, Star Koi, other than that early aggression.
Again, I'm sure we'll see it here. Yeah, look at that. Where am I meant to go? Someone.
Yeah, it's like you say, someone help him. He's like, help, do something.
Anything! Anything! But again, I do want to kind of just pause for Thoi, because I do actually think we're going to have a pause coming in. I imagine it's Koi's. We'll see that. Oh, I've seen.
No, it's not Koi's.
Oh, it's not.
It's not Koi's. It's all red.
Apologies. We'll find out what it is for you, don't worry. We've got our best people on the case.
Pause technique.
Yinzu and Bay are going to be backstage just fiddling around with some cables. It's fine. But I do want to kind of then just pause this conversation. And we talk about prepping during the time you have, right? So if you're not making it deep in tournaments and going to these events, I want to talk about homework here. FUT have turned up and they look locked in on these new compositions. Well, I don't want to even say new, but the way they're applying them, they are absolutely showing you what Teo can do, what the Fade can do, what you're seeing with Astra here, and again, Zeus layered into that.
But also, on top of that, the point I initially made, that's why it's so refreshing to see Movie Star Koi come into this. But like I said, not a drastic set of agents, but actually almost like a revisioned look at the game, how we want to approach the start of this season. So definitely a positive in that regard. Whether or not we're going to see it today, I think it's probably a test for the first couple of weeks. Have just got in, as you can see on the screen here, in-ear issues, the classic. How many headphones off have we got? How many headphones off?
I don't see any.
I'm seeing thumbs up. I saw a thumb up. Is it Yetijay? We need to target our player cams a little better during the tech pause.
Shame them.
Yeah.
Just get the bell. Shame. Just start
resuming shortly. We've got another update on screen now.
Oh my God.
I love the new ticker.
Isn't it nice?
We were saying this yesterday. I was like, the fact
like
that we
rolling news one,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Just coming in, breaking news.
Breaking in-ear issue.
No, I would love that. Can we dramatize it a bit, boys? I'd appreciate it.
What's Yinsu's little news show called? VCT.
BNN.
BNN, yeah. Breaking BNN in-ear issue.
We can get like a little wipe where it's just like Yinzu shuffling paper. You know, and it needs that like BBC like noise that did it, you know what I mean? Like, hot off the press. But
send you some homework production, sorry.
Yeah, sorry boys. I mean, or just never have a tech issue. Yeah, my bad. Ooh! Filu. He's the only one with the rifle, so he's got to be feisty here. Got to get into it. Yeah, the J, that's... I mean, I don't know how recoverable that weapon is, but it should be within grasp for these rotations coming in, but can they hold? Soulcast, this position never gets checked, please. Send a Prowler. Send something. Oh, they never check. They never check. Why don't they ever check?
The third one out clears it. The third one out.
Of course, third time's a charm. Flyer is going to pick up the Phantom now, kind of left off the corpses. And, well, this is going to be tough. Hard to do with the full buy, let alone with this. Let's see. Nice. Needs a bit more, though. Okay, not going to get it. But Shados, show me something here. We were looking at you on this chamber. Time is still in play for this.
Fortunately, with another star going down.
Only one bullet currently in the Headhunter to get the gun and he needs to get going.
I mean, damage will be good here. You look at what's left, but Zeus to find the third. Put FUT on 4 now.
They got to get off that too. They really need to get off that too.
I mean, they're building towards some of these ultimates. VALORANT being one of the important ones here.
Oh, and they got flyers as well to couple with it. Okay, maybe see something there. Nice.
So rough, yeah. Because again, the flash going off in front of him is just like, yeah, I'm gonna get one, guys.
I'm good for one.
Nice!
My in-ears are broken.
I'll say,
Tech
yeah.
issue. Tech issue. No, they'll stop panicking. So a similar start, it looked like, from FUT there to try and apply that pressure towards A main with that same utility. Actually, Mr. Fallen didn't use the same utility potentially, so a little bit layered in that. And they burnt Flyer's ult on this. Yeah. That felt like a panic reaction.
Yeah, no tag either.
You want to fight it?
Yeah, tons of information here on the back of Zeus's ultimate. Actually, yeah, he's got a little pocket to TP into.
That's nice.
Yes, James, I want to find the kill anyway.
Okay, Grubino going down. And they're going to be held back by this. You've got to respect it for a second longer, really. You're not breaking back in. You have nothing to set it in motion. Util now there for Flyer. Send in a shock dart. Chip damage on Mr. Fallen, but we're waiting on the drop of the divide. Counter ult from VALORANT. Let's see what he can achieve. We're expecting that to be comboed with Flyer, but it wasn't the case. Panic or not, it doesn't matter now into the post plant. But they're losing our numbers here. Shados the one to really do the damage, but it's only Mr. Fallen down. Good in the form of taking away that util. Better from Shados. Starting to hit a little more here. But Yetta J goes unchecked. Shados taking a glance back, but at a captain, still going to find Flyer. You're still seeing Yetta J.
Yeah.
That timing's so good. Playing it so deep. VALORANT's just got to save.
Unfortunately, Movistar Koi have to dig so deep to pull these FUT players out of these positions. Clock ultimately would have decided this, but I mean, fair shot from Movistar Koi.
Got to hit a timeout though here, right?
You'd hope so.
Because it just don't have the answers right now.
No, and where you would want to see this composition excel would be in the first half here from Movistar Koi. And similar ethos, you could argue with was it previously the Killjoy, I believe. But here's a little less emphasis on site anchoring. But they're just not winning out on the engagements.
Yeah, timeout coming in now for Koi, and this isn't a bad map really for FUT on this either. You know, this has been a very strong showing for them. I've enjoyed watching them here. I was hoping that Koi would come in with a little bit of something to them. Yeah, right. You see it on the comp changes or kind of the role swaps here. Shados in this role.
I mean, that's the first tick in the box, right? And,
yeah, that's where it starts.
Then, pistol round comes out. Cool. We got a really nice set piece. We haven't seen much else of that. We've seen early aggression punished by FUT, whether or not they were just on red alert and had these sort of plays in the back pocket. But yeah, for me, where you want to see Movistar Koi excel with this composition change is in the first half, and now 5 rounds unanswered. Again,
for Koi, I was impressed with what Gorilla was able to achieve when he was, in those previous coaching roles. But Gaius right now looks like he has been putting FUT to the task, right? These guys have come in locked in from round 3 to round 7. It feels like Koi haven't had a window of chance, really. There hasn't been it's not even down to like individual impact. There's so many layers to what's coming out. So Koi need to break away from this 2 rounds they've been held on. The ults now off the table of barring Shados's and close for Soulcast's, but it feels reactionary. I'd like to see them take the initiative soon enough. Incredibly hard though, and FUT seems so prepared.
Zeus also Putting on a bit of a clinic so far.
Yeah.
10-3 for FUT. Another exploration towards mid. Nobody to greet it. Flyer playing a very deep angle. We'll note the cross, but again, not really the intention with this setup.
It feels, I don't want to say readable, but you've taken space towards A main.
Fine's actually backfilling this now. They're going to get proactive.
Gravino felt hesitation. Maybe waiting for that counter swing, maybe waiting for the outrun. I don't know what it was, but it's fallen to pieces. FUT! Huge punish towards Koi. Oh, and the timing's so gorgeous. I'm going to be honest, FUT look a cut above so far.
And this is another situation. Movistar Koi, like I said, with Flyer and Shados looking to pinch into the backside of connector here.
Yeah.
But Movistar Koi kind of just wait for FUT to push onto them. If that's the call and that's, you know, what they're assuming is happening, it needs to be a little more decisive.
I don't know what held them up there. I don't know if they were waiting for something.
What's the green light? If somebody's called that, Flyer's backed up, he's on that deeper position, you concede that space, and then the next step is to challenge it. Challenge it.
And I don't know if they were waiting for the ideal scenario when, you know, we saw how deep they were playing towards mid, maybe when that out drone to come around or try and, you know, time it really right, but you're not going to get everything you want,
yeah,
you know?
Flyer can drone from that deeper position that he was in initially.
I'd like to see it back if we can. I want to see the timing on this. It's in-zone flawless, by the way.
So I was just letting it breathe. breathe for a second. But yeah, whether or not that's the plan the whole time, it seems a little disjointed.
Yeah, because like, look at this. By this point, Zeus is already pushing in. They're already trying to break through by the connector, and that
right there,
desperation.
Yeah, but almost not expecting a player to still be that deep.
Oh yeah, the J.
Yesterday just teed up for 2 freebies.
Oh, he's got to feel.
Take nothing away from FUT's approach there. But
No,
it's the one time we've seen Movistar Koi positioning in to challenge some of those things.
Yeah.
And well, I was going to say it crumbles. It was never there.
No. Okay, Shados. Big moment. Oh man. I don't know where that went. Don't know if it was eaten by the Prowler or something. But it didn't find a body you wanted. And now the site is going to be tough to hold. So get the flash. Oh, well, that's not in the movie. It's not in the clip. It's not in the clip. Zeus going to carry on forward. Take the back of the site. They're trying to get a little bit in their face here, being a bit more aggressive, but oh gosh, they need to start hitting some of these shots too. Like, and this team is good, right? They've got mechanical capability. We know that. 3v3. Show me some more. You take them back the site. How do you disrupt these?
How's Gravino getting 2 here with the classic?
Stop! He's got the divide. Mr. Fallen, if you got a util for this, he's got his ult, but what are you going to do with it now? You don't know what's going on here. Going to have to send it through. Philo, beautiful. Finally, Koi taking a bit of a fight. Right back in towards FUT.
And looking as if they're brimming with confidence in the approach there with lesser inventory. The pay safe card thrifty on that one, Lauren.
Best kind of pay safe card thrifties, those.
One more time.
Nowhere. There it is, pay safe card thrifty.
Yeah, I mean, other than Soulcast struggling a little bit initially, like I said, Gravino just walks out here with a classic. And I'm like, there was 2 sheriffs in a classic. Gravino's the one to find 2 kills. Uli about to burst the blood vessel. Why do I keep saying blurt?
I don't know. He loves a pay safe card thrifty.
Does it?
I think I've hit the quota. I think I'm good. I'm out now.
By round 10, map 1.
Nailed it. Sorry, Red Bull. No clutches. For now, but a little bit of a, maybe a wake-up call here, right? But try and do that again. I want to see now that change up from Koi. Give us a couple more rounds. Give us a game here, because FUT, they've already showed off, right? They've already flexed that, hey, we are absolutely locked in on these comps. We know exactly what we're doing here. Big old stack towards A this round as well from Koi.
Yeah, and one of the few times we haven't seen Philo playing up close and personal. FUT will now capitalize on that. 2-pronged approach, though. Some pressure coming through Art. Actually, TP sent over towards B and Shados on the rotate as well, but
They found a corner to play from, though. We've seen how oppressive these site takes are. They're trying to stick around. I think they've realized they can't play from pit, really. They do have to give up the site. We're in that retake meta. We've heard it discussed, and we're seeing it in action. It's crisp and clean, and it looked like Zeus was almost on for another there, but a 4v3 possible for sure. Soulcast does have ult. Filu getting close towards site. Waiting for the others to come over, but Cracks gets cleared. Good trade from Yeta J, though. Still trying to turn around on the site.
Here we go.
Now
Fallen's
it's
down on
game
14
on.
HP.
That's not going to have the effect, and Mr. Fallen's going to have his util back in a second now. That's going to be thrown in the second he feels like he can. There it is. Next contact should be at a captain. The other two may be trying to read into this here. They bought the time, and at a captain going to get the kill. Soulcast looking to be the difference maker on the push. Beautiful, but the time is run too low. Soulcast, a valiant attempt, but not enough.
Looking to fight to the death in the retake there, but able to run the clock down effectively. You're right, I'm with you. Zeus looking lethal here on the approach.
Player, isn't he?
Feels a little heartbreaking that after flipping the Thrifty and coming so close. I nearly did it again then.
I know.
Don't look at me.
Oh, operator out.
Oh,
Oh. You're in the right place. I'm leaning in. Okay, drone dealt with. Filu given some freedom. Prowlers, bit of a problem though.
doesn't catch though.
Ooh, Filu, freedom! Rattles off the shot. Zeus down. That is the headhunter gone, not the one in the hands of Shados. But the fact that Zeus was cracking open these sites, that's the ult removed there as well for him. So now they have to go in as intended. Owl drone comes in, slowly but surely dealt with.
Yeta has drifted up into the smoke. Trying to play off the reveal, but nothing pinged. Actually trying to cross with the cage as well now.
But again, trying to play on these sites, Mike, it just doesn't seem advisable.
Hang on.
But that will help matters. Oh!
He got the headshot.
Oh, still converting that, but 2v2 now. Filu's still got that operator rough, but he's got his ult. Ah, man, this could go. Anyway, there it is. Going to pop the ult. Does he have a shorty as well? I don't know. He's going to switch out. Spots out one, spots out a second. He's got to know that Fallen is low here. Trying to find the softer target. Dips out, looks for a kill, waiting on the backup as well. Soulcast needs to be here. Beautiful. Mr. Fallen's down yet again. 1v2 though. Don't doubt this man. Ooh, position giver. Nice from Filu there. Koi trying to grab onto any round they can.
Almost done the hard work now to put this within touching distance at least. At the half-time mark. They come out here with a 7-5 that will feel almost miraculous. The flyer so unlucky not to get this third. I think Mr. Fallen had like, what, 14 HP and 10 HP out of these previous 2 rounds. Concern being, FUT will come into this with a few ultimates to play with, Zeus being the key to potentially open up a site here. We've seen something similar to the pistol round here, Lauren.
They're going again, they're going again. Grubino,
There's bodies on the other side as well.
Yeah, we're in for a bit of a biff. Ult going to be used through middle. They're going to see nothing, and that should be, if anything, relatively indicative. And you look at the util coming in. Grubino's going to have to give away the game. They're going to try and take the fight to them, but there's pressure on the back lines. Zeus going to be there, and you look at Yeta J as well. He's going in on this one. Flyer got to deliver. He's just trying to stay alive. Call in for some support. Anyone help me, please. They are now caught in a really weird fight. Zeus trying to draw him away from long, but now do they pull the button away from this one? They pull the plug.
Yeah, Spike's on to A.
They're going A.
Now walking into further utility though. Yeta J will find one on the way out. Filu will fall. Actually, Hunter's Fury from afar.
This could be nasty. Doesn't get what it wants. It's doing a little bit of chip damage, I think, but that's about it. You got Mr. Fallen still alive. Zeus at a captain. Soulcast and Flyer. Flyer's got full kit of util. This angle, this dirty little off angle from Zeus. Soulcast, nice try, but not nice enough. Zeus, oh my God, he makes aim look so damn beautiful. Flyer, this is hard. It's a 1v3. You're up against some of the hardest util to break back in. Ada Captain still there with his Mr. Fallen with ult as well. But he's managed to thread the damn needle. Have you done that? Shock Dart ain't far off the money, but the problem is the ult's still in play, and Zeus is still breathing.
8-4.5, a commanding lead from FUT. Signs of life from Movistar KOI though, Lauren. A glimmer of hope potentially towards the end of this first half.
Glimmer of hope. We're asking to give the fans something to cheer for. They've got a little bit of a buffer. Round 9, round 11, the key ones. They've got them back into this, but it's got to say FUT so far have been leading. Solid in control, but a treat for you at home and in the venue. Kakuku's going to be down there in the crowd with the very loud KOI fans.
Thank you very much, Lauren. I'm losing the capability to hear. But as you said, I am now joined here in the studio with Xavi, coming with Las Carpas. How are you, Xavi? ¿Cómo estás?
I'm so fine. I'm, to be honest, really nervous for the game, for the match. But with all the friends of Las Carpas, all my teammates, for me it's something so special to be here and supporting the team from so far from Madrid and stay all together, always with KOI and always with my friends with Las Carpas.
I absolutely love that. I know the chants. Okay, chicos, por favor, déjenme hacer una preguntita o algo, ¿no? Tell me about, there's a lot of you here, probably the one time that we have so many KOI fans in the stadium, so tell me about, because I know that you're not only coming for this game, so tell me about getting all together and performing, coming here.
No, from all come here together, it's so hard. We come from Madrid and we take so many flights to come here. We spent one night in airport of Mallorca all together and staying all the night. And at 6 a.m. we come here. We don't sleep anything, and all for Movistar KOI and for support him.
Absolutely love that. Yo. They're committed. So right now, of course, we hear a lot of chants in the background. So how about to give some support to KOI so they can turn this around? You give me some and you teach to the people at home some of the chants.
No, say simple, always trust on the guys, trust on the staff. Here doing all the hard as I can. I know that all this staff, like Gorilla, Temok and Bambino, they are doing so hard. All the players here, we trust on him and we all hope so the good vibes that we can give to us.
¿Me dais un cántico? ¿Me dais un cántico?
Chicos, corremos kilómetros, superamos obstáculos. Solo por ti, Movistar KOI. Vamos chicos, kilómetros. Superamos obstáculos.
Let's go back into the game and see if they can superar esos obstáculos.
Okay, love the energy. Absolutely love the energy.
That's the sort of energy you want behind a team, especially now with mountains to climb in the second half. They need that momentum. Sitting at an 8-4 deficit, Lauren. And again, call a spade, not many positives
hard
to pin hope to.
Yeah. Really uphill now, but crowd behind them, giving them the best start, and it started well for them in the pistol, but they need a bit more of that now. And this is what I keep expecting to see. Space controlled and delivered on with the util perfect. Mr. Falling gonna strike and draw blood towards middle and fall back towards site.
Dip their toes and disengage. No risk really for Movistar KOI to try and catch a grip on. Actually now, re-exploring mid, a deeper hold from FUT could put Cracks in a bit of a rough situation. Perfect timing though.
Shadows can make anything of that. A couple eyes might be turned towards it, starting to expect that B pressure, but doesn't really go for more.
Zeus!
Stop, Zeus!
Remaining.
Well, the sing-song suddenly become quiet. Shados, the last one to try and do something for him here. Didn't find match impact really, and that spike so far away. Oh, it's brutal, but it's done here. That's gonna be a quick one, and the end zone flawless.
You've got to be very concerned now if a few of these trends carry across to the second half.
Any more of those in-zone flawlesses, it's could be done.
You need a Red Bull clutch or something to answer back to these.
Pay safe card thrifty or something. It's got to happen.
Anything.
Look
We'll let you know if there is one. Yeah, Zeus shutting that down immediately. And actually, yeah, well, light to purchase. Moonstar Koi looking to overwhelm once again, but punished on the way in. Fila will fall. Actually, will cross over though, so commit to it. And looking towards Shados to really be the problematic player here for Movistar Koi.
And a captain's on a bit of an island.
Yeah.
Like, Yenaje was out of there. It's like, oh no. So yeah, Ada Captain gonna have to fall back towards Pip. A little bit uncomfortable for a while, but he's good now. And Koi being held up, but they have created a bit of a pathway. So maybe able to get a plant in, get a bit more pressure. Can they make it dangerous though? Ready, plants there, so time is on their side. Hey, safe card Thrifty, it could be coming, Mike.
We've manifested. Potentially.
See. They're trying to get back towards site. Carefully, cautiously. Oh, Koi! Hold on, 2v2. Mr. Fallen's still alive, gonna make it hard, but Soul Cast couldn't quite convert it. 2 stay alive, and a fuse is there. That will be double digits very quickly.
See the lighted purchase. FUT in a position to throw bodies on the line. Play a scrappy round 2 here in the second half. And yeah, you're right, it kind of carving a path, but there was no real danger then to capitalize on. So that window of opportunity on After Captain was a matter of a second, 2 if that. Bleak outlook now if Movistar Koi cannot convert round 15.
I feel like they're going to have a little plan in mind as well. But they seem so well prepared on this. I don't think they're going to be going in with just a standard. So, A control gathered. I'm waiting to see who they post up on that and probably rotate the others. You could already see the reaction coming in from Mr. Fallen, trying to supplement the hold towards the B site. And it looks like a 3-2 split towards B. But the util there, Michael, it's pretty rife, and they've seen a lot. 3 players suppressing all 3-2. That's
big info.
Massive.
Orb retrieved. No commitment just yet. Zeus elsewhere. I mean, you can see on the minimap, he's got tons of space to play with. After Captain will be considering the rotation already. Pause for thought, maybe for cooldowns to come online here for Movistar Koi.
Again, I'm looking at Zeus's position. They've got no need to worry about anywhere else right now. It all feels so red, so obvious.
As well.
Worried. Get a J. Already teeing them up with Mr. Fallen. Swing, they're getting really nasty about it. Fly is going to tip the scales at least to keep this at a 2-2. Now Zeus coming over. Now Ada Captain starting to build in. Long is not safe for the post concept.
It runs even more. It buys even more time for Zeus.
This is huge. Zeus, the position completely unconsidered. Flyer now has to over-deliver. A 1v2. He knows where 1 is. He now knows the second.
19 HP.
He's got util. He doesn't need to be doing this all on his own from here. Oh, he's nervous, and Zeus strikes him down. It's gonna be 11. And FUT just making this heartbreaking for Koi.
I mean, even initially, that FUT are able to trade out 3 for 3 on this site here. They play around the util so well. And again, the damage is done on the way in. Then to deny the initial plant buys time for Zeus. Shadows has to cover. He can't be looking back towards Long. Cracks it, yeah, a little muted, understandably. Has had a rough map here.
But again,
haven't needed him.
No, and his util's been fantastic. And I hate saying that. That sounds like such a poor sell. But genuinely, the Caesar's good, the Prowler's been good. The Haunts, everything you need. We'll see a bit, maybe a value here if they do go for this again. So it is just to get that initial control. Haunt there, going to be avoided, I believe, mostly. No, it does get a reveal in the end. That's big info. And a Captain, though, going to be left on an island. Needs to back away. Certainly no holiday, but Crack's going to keep him safe. Rubino's gone down. We asked him to find a little more, and he has.
Actually, the trade-off of damage as well, even further. Filu down to 11 HP.
Just so unwilling to give away this space as well.
I mean, FUT showed us a few examples in the first half of these early set pieces. Unfortunately, Movistar Koi don't have enough rounds to play with in the second to really learn on the fly. So they will stack up here towards this site here.
Find you.
Reveal probably going to paint a picture for FUT. There's confirmed presence still.
See who rotates. Yeah, it will be priority on Mr. Fallen to come on over. Again, you look at his util, super useful for just controlling space. They've just walked it.
Say they're out.
Okay, that's a little wild. We are going to see the util laid onto this, but Zeus ain't missing. Zeus was flashed so much towards him. He finally falls, but look at Filu's HP. Look at Shados. They're not sitting in a healthy position. Filu, the last one alive. The spike,
breathing.
it's been seen, and look at it. It just feels like that poison chalice that if you reach for, you fall. And a captain, the first challenger, but he's got support. Nice moves from Filu there to try and get the job done, but where else are you gonna go? Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. FUT, I mean, they look solid here, Mike.
Polished, really well polished. And again, they know when to commit to some of these set pieces and when to disengage. In terms of damage control, that's rough for Grubino. Especially on the other side. That's Krax's fourth, by the way. To get a kill like that.
Mike, how many chances?
A few. There's a few.
Right, a few.
Just, where's the squiggly line? Squiggly.
There you go.
Freehand draw. A.
Oh.
That's an A. A few. There we go.
Beautiful. Your best work.
Just a few.
It's long road back. And again, for individually, stunning. As a collective, hard to deal with. And Flyer, tag, but no further impact. J in the position that, again, always feels fated to either be glorious or a complete shambles, but they're falling around him, but he's, whoa, it's stunning. Oh, J just closing out in style. It's a 13-4. It was FUT's choice here, and they make the most of it. They look sharp, they look locked in. My wonder now becomes Lotus. Mike, we're gonna head to a short break, but when we're back, we'll be clocking that one and seeing how it goes.
Red Bull gives you wings.